The void between stars had never witnessed such an unprecedented display of bewilderment. Admiral Zextar, of the Hegemony's First Fleet, stared at the tactical displays aboard his flagship. The Dominion's fist, his four eyes blinking in rapid succession, a clear sign of agitation among his species. Before him, suspended in the darkness of space, hung three human vessels that defied every principle of naval architecture the Galactic Empire had perfected over 10 millennia. The human ships appeared almost fragile, their hulls gleaming white, with strange geometric patterns etched across their surfaces. No visible weapons ports, no energy signatures indicating defensive shields, no massive reactor cores that should power vessels of their size. To Zextar's experienced eye, they looked like ceremonial barges rather than warships. Sir, Communications Officer Valenex spoke with barely contained confusion. The human vessels are transmitting something. Put it through, Zextar commanded, his voice carrying the authority of a being who had subjugated 47 star systems. The bridge speakers crackled to life, and what emerged defied all expectations. Laughter, pure, unrestrained human laughter, echoed through the command center of the most feared dreadnought in the galaxy. The sound was so unexpected, so thoroughly inappropriate given the circumstances, that several bridge officers actually stepped backward from their stations. "Attention, Empire ships," came a human voice, still chuckling. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth vessel Probability's Edge. Thanks for the welcome committee, but I think there's been a misunderstanding." Zextar's mandibles clicked in irritation. He opened a channel. "Human vessel, you are in violation of Imperial Decree 7741. You have entered restricted space. Surrender immediately or be destroyed." The response was immediate. More laughter, this time joined by what sounded like an entire crew's worth of human voices. "Admiral," Captain Chen's voice came through, barely suppressed mirth evident in her tone. "With all due respect, I don't think you understand what you're dealing with here." "I understand perfectly," Zextar snarled. "Three primitive vessels against the might of the Empire's First Fleet. You are outnumbered 60 to 1. Our weapons can crack planets. Our shields have never been penetrated. Surrender now, and we may permit your species to serve as laborers in the outer territories." This statement provoked such an eruption of laughter from the human ships that the bridge's acoustic dampeners actually struggled to process the sound. When the laughter finally died down, Captain Chen's voice returned, now tinged with something that sounded almost like pity. "Admiral, before this gets any more embarrassing for you, let me ask you something. What do you know about quantum entanglement?" Zextar's secondary eyes narrowed. "Basic stellar communication technology. Instantaneous information transfer across vast distances. What does this have to do with your immediate surrender?" "Oh, everything," Chen replied. "You see, about 50 years ago, my species figured out how to entangle more than just information. We learned to entangle probability itself." Science Officer Coulter looked up from his console, his expression troubled. "Sir, I'm reading some very unusual quantum signatures from those vessels. The patterns don't match anything in our databases." "What Captain Chen is trying to explain," came another human voice, this one identifying itself as Dr. Marcus Webb, "is that our ships exist in a state of quantum superposition. Right now, each of our vessels is simultaneously here and not here, destroyed and not destroyed, in thousands of different probable states." Zextar felt a chill run through his exoskeleton. "Impossible. Matter cannot exist in superposition at that scale." "That's what we thought too," Dr. Webb continued cheerfully. "Turns out we were wrong. Took us 40 years to build the first probability drive, and another 10 to miniaturize it. These ships? They're not really here, Admiral. They're probability echoes of ships that might be here. Sir, Tactical Officer Renix reported, his voice strained. Weapons lock is fluctuating. Targeting systems can't maintain a stable lock on any of the human vessels. Try firing anyway, Zexstar ordered. The Dominion's fist unleashed a barrage of plasma bolts that could reduce a moon to cosmic dust. Every member of the bridge crew watched the tactical display as the weapons streaked toward their targets. The bolts passed through the human ships as if they were ghosts, continuing into empty space, where they eventually dissipated harmlessly. The laughter that followed was so vigorous that Zexstar wondered if humans might actually die from excessive humor. "Admiral," Captain Chen said, her voice now openly sympathetic, "you can't destroy something that exists in quantum superposition. Your weapons are targeting specific probability states, but we're shifting between thousands of them every nanosecond. It's like trying to hit a coin that's perpetually in the air. It's neither heads nor tails until something forces it to choose." "Then how do you interact with the physical universe?" Zexstar demanded. "Very carefully," Dr. Webb answered. "And only when we choose to collapse our probability wave into a single state, which, given your hostile reception, we're not particularly inclined to do." Zexstar stared at the displays showing his mighty fleet arrayed against 3 ships that might or might not exist. "This is impossible." "You're bluffing." "Admiral," came a third human voice. "This is Fleet Commander Jackson. Maybe this will help clarify things for you." On the tactical display, one of the human ships suddenly solidified, its probability signature collapsing into a single definitive state. Immediately, every weapon on the Imperial fleet achieved perfect target lock. "Now watch," Commander Jackson said. A single, barely visible pulse emanated from the now solid human ship. It struck the Dominion's fist directly, and absolutely nothing happened. "Confused?" Jackson asked. "That pulse just entangled every atom in your ship with our probability drive. Congratulations, Admiral. Your flagship now exists in quantum superposition." Zexstar watched in growing horror as his own ship's systems began reporting conflicting readings. According to his instruments, the Dominion's fist was simultaneously at full power and completely dead, shields up and shields down, weapons armed and weapons offline. "The choice is yours," Captain Chen said, her earlier humor replaced by steel. "You can remain in superposition, unable to affect anything in the physical universe, or you can withdraw from this system and we'll collapse your probability wave back to normal." The bridge fell silent, except for the increasingly frantic beeping of systems that couldn't decide what state they were supposed to be in. "I believe," Zexstar said slowly, "we may have made an error in judgment." "Happens to the best of us," Chen replied, the smile evident in her voice. "No hard feelings. But maybe next time, try asking nicely before threatening to destroy someone." As the Imperial fleet began its withdrawal, Admiral Zexstar made a mental note to update the Empire's contact protocols. Apparently, the universe had become a much stranger place than even the Galactic Empire had imagined. Behind them, the human ships flickered between existence and possibility, their crews still laughing at the cosmic joke they'd just shared with the galaxy's former apex predators.